I'm going to start this story with some background. I'm a 26-year-old male living in Tennessee near the Great Smoky Mountains. I've been a fan of Uncle Unit for a few years now, but I've never really wanted to share this story of mine, mainly because it genuinely disturbs me to no end and has mentally scarred me. In order to move on with my life, I just had to put it out of my head for a while, but after watching some videos on this channel and doing some serious self-reflection, I've decided to share this and let all of you judge it for yourselves. This happened a year after I graduated high school. I had just started working at a local convenience store, one town over from where I lived. I had been there about a month and a half, and one night, I was working later than usual because the employee who was supposed to relieve me never showed up. I called up my manager to tell him that the employee never showed. He wasn't really surprised because he had been having issues with that guy and expected him to quit sooner or later. "I'm really sorry about this, but I'm gonna need you to stay until closing time and lock the place up when you're done. Call me if you need anything." It was no big deal for me. I actually liked working by myself most of the time. The store usually stayed open until around 9:30 or 10, depending on if we had customers in the store or not. I was cleaning up one of the aisles in the back of the store after helping some customers. I had one earbud in my ear, listening to an audiobook on my phone, when I heard the front door open. So I walked to the front counter to see if this person needed any help. Only one problem. I didn't see anyone. At first, I thought they may have walked directly to the bathroom, since it was right next to the entrance. But after waiting about 10 to 15 minutes, I finally walked over to see if it was locked. To my surprise, it wasn't. In fact, it was slightly cracked open, with the light turned off. I opened the bathroom and flipped on the light. There was no one in there. Right then, I felt uneasy. So I looked back out into the store to see if anyone else was there. I even called out, "Hello? Is there anyone there?" No answer. I was starting to think either I was just getting tired, or there was something wrong with the door chimes. I decided to ignore it and go back to cleaning. About an hour and a half later, the door chimes again. So I walked back to the front, and again, no one was there. I started thinking to myself that there had to be something wrong with the door chimes. So I left a note on the register to tell my boss the next day. A few minutes later, the door chime goes off again. I look up towards the front of the store to see that the door is actually open this time. So I quickly made my way to the front counter. But when I got there, of course, there was no one there. I knew for sure that I had watched the door open when the chimes went off. I checked the bathroom again and walked down all of the aisles. A chill went down my spine, not at what I saw, but what I didn't see. There wasn't a soul in sight. I couldn't understand what was happening, so I decided that I was going to stand by the front counter until my shift ended. I had about 45 minutes left. 20 minutes go by of me hanging out by the counter when someone actually came in. Good evening," I said to them nervously. The person that came in was wearing an old winter coat with a black hood on their head. This wasn't out of the ordinary because it was 40 degrees out that night. The person didn't respond to my greeting. I figured that they couldn't hear me for some reason, and I didn't think too much of it. Maybe they had a pair of headphones on under their hood or something. They walked to the back of the shop. Since closing time was coming up, I began to clean the counter. About 20 minutes later, I realized that the guy never came back to pay for anything. I looked around the store and saw that there was no one there. This was a small privately owned store that didn't have much in the way of security, and the area it was located in saw little to no crime. We had one camera facing the front door and one in the parking lot. I yelled out, Hey, are you finding everything okay? But I got no response. Look, I'm closing in about 10 minutes. Is there something I can help you with? Again, no response. I walked to the back of the store where I last saw the person. Another chill was sent up my back when I saw that one of the fridge doors was open, but there was no sign of the person in the jacket. I closed the fridge door and walked up and down every aisle, and I didn't see anyone. I was creeped out before, but now I was full on freaking out. So I decided at that point that I would walk back up to the front and call my boss. Hello? Hey, it's me. Something weird is going on here. What do you mean? So, there was this guy in a jacket that came in about 30 minutes ago. I saw him heading towards the fridge section in the back. He was taking a while, and when I went back to go check on him, he wasn't there. Okay, give me a second. I'll look at the cameras. Let me see if he left the building. I also mentioned to my boss about how the door chime had been going off for the past couple of hours, even when there wasn't anyone in the store. That's strange. You didn't see anyone come in at all? No, not till this guy in the jacket came in. After a minute of my boss looking through the camera feeds, he tells me something that messes with my head to this day. Are you absolutely sure somebody came into the store? I'm reviewing the clips from the past 2 hours, and you're the only person that appears in them. I felt a knot form in the pit of my stomach. What do you mean I'm the only one in the video? Look, I'm telling you that you're the only person in the store walking back and forth from the aisles to the counter for the past 2 hours. This was when I started to second guess myself. Did I really see someone coming into the store? I took a long look around the store, and I thought that maybe I was just getting tired. Look, I'm sorry. I haven't been sleeping very well lately. It's okay. Just go ahead and lock up for the night and go home and get some rest. Sound advice. I began to close everything up, putting all the money in the safe, cleaning up the counters, etc. That's when I heard laughing coming from the back of the store. It really wasn't a ha-ha funny kind of laugh. It was more of a sinister chuckle. I stopped what I was doing and looked up to see that the fridge door was open again. Now, we kept a baseball bat behind the counter, just as a precaution. None of us ever had to use it before, but I grabbed the bat and wielded it like a saber as I advanced toward the back of the store. The fridge door being open again was the least of my worries. A hooded figure was standing just beyond the open door. Holy shit! How long have you been back there? The figure did not answer. I gripped the bat tighter. Hey man, are you alright? That's when a deep, raspy voice replied.
I'm thirsty.
Okay, is there something I can help you find? I'm about to close up. I heard the chuckle again, and I began slowly backing away. Something was off about this guy. I don't know if he was on drugs or what. Look, I've got to lock up now. How about you just grab a drink, come on up, and I'll get you out of here, okay? The man just stood there. The reflection from the opened fridge door and his hood made it impossible for me to see his face. I decided that it wasn't a good idea to engage him any further, and I retreated back to the counter, grabbed my phone, and immediately called my boss back. He answered after the first ring. Hey, that guy I said was in here earlier is now standing by the fridge right now. He's just standing there chuckling like some kind of lunatic, and I can't get him to leave. What should I do? My boss went silent for a moment, before asking, What does he look like? I don't know, he has this black hood on under an old winter jacket, with a pair of jeans and some black shoes. His hood is hiding his face, so I can't really see it. Shit. Alright, hang on. I'm on my way to the store. Stay on the line until I get there. Why? What's the deal? Just stay on the line until I get there. Watch that guy and see what he does. If he doesn't leave within the next few minutes and I'm still not there, I want you to call the cops on the store phone." So I waited by the front counter for my boss to arrive. He lived about 5 minutes down the road. While I was on the phone with him, I heard the fridge door slam shut, followed by a loud crash at the back of the store. I nearly jumped out of my skin. The next thing I knew, I heard the sound of someone rushing up towards the counter, but I couldn't see anyone. After a moment, the noise stopped. "Hey, you still there? What's going on?" "Yeah, I'm here. I thought I heard someone running toward me. I don't know what's going on here. This guy keeps disappearing." "I'll be there as soon as I can. I want you to call the cops." I quickly set my phone on the counter and started dialing 911 on the store phone. I then heard another chuckle, and I looked up to see the hooded man standing in front of the counter. I jumped back, almost taking a swing at him with a bat. I finally saw the man's face. There was something very wrong about its appearance. It wasn't just that he was creepy, but his appearance was unnatural looking. It looked like his face was a botched Photoshop job. It didn't really look real. A wide, crooked smile then spread across his fake face. It reminded me of that old Grinch Christmas cartoon that I used to watch as a kid. The man's eyes seemed to flicker back and forth between pale and pitch black. It was like I was looking into a void of television static. That's when I yelled, "Whatever the hell you are, leave my store, now!" The thing then began laughing.
But I'm thirsty.
I raised the bat into the air, ready to swing if the man came any closer. I heard my boss yelling at me through my cell phone. "Hey, what's going on?" A few seconds later, I heard a car pull up outside into the parking lot. I glanced over to the window to see who it was. The second I took my eyes off the hooded man, he sprinted out of the store. A moment later, my boss came rushing in. "Hey, are you okay?" "Yes, I'm fine. You just missed him. You didn't see him running out of the front door?" "No, I didn't see anyone come out." "Are you serious? The guy just ran out of here right before you came in." My boss swore up and down that he didn't see anybody. The cops were called, and the security footage was reviewed. It showed somebody in a black hood leaving the store right before my boss came in. After everything was said and done, the cops told me that they would keep an eye out for the guy. The camera didn't show his face, so they couldn't get an exact physical description of him. I tried to give him all the details that I could, but it wasn't much to go off of. Plus, the guy technically didn't commit any crimes. My boss and I cleaned up the store and locked the place up. He then told me to go home and take a couple of days off. That was the last time I worked the late shift by myself. As far as I know, the police never caught up with the hooded man. Personally, I feel like it was either someone with serious mental issues, in which case I hope he found help. But if he was something else, something that can't be so easily explained, well, I hope I never see that thing again. There's always a reason to be afraid.